Morning. Today's plan, finish this cornfield. We have probably 80 acres left of this field, I would imagine, maybe 85, something along those lines. We should be able to knock that out pretty smoothly as long as Cargill's not super busy. Yesterday there was nobody in there other than us, so. This is the weekend though. On the weekends there's usually more traffic in there. But yeah, Dad's gonna be running the Ideal here. Brad and I are gonna be trucking. BJ's gonna be running the grain cart. Hopefully we can finish this up, get moved tonight, and yeah, we'll be getting into the waning days of corn harvest. How are you? I don't know your name. Smile? You're on YouTube. Perfect. Oh, you're friendly. All right, let's hit the road. We're burning daylight. Dad and BJ should be here any minute. No fog today. If you've seen the last two videos, that's a nice change of pace. Yesterday, the fog didn't burn off till 1 o'clock. We should be able to start really soon. Like, they could probably be running right now. But Dad was moving the Gleaner out of the field that it was in, and BJ was giving him a ride. A little bit of a line today. So like I said, on the weekends, there's a lot more part-time farmers that come in here. So I was kind of worried about this. This is Friday, but it seems like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are usually the busiest days in here. Hopefully, this place is just busy right now from the morning rush. I mean, everybody does what we did. They fill up all their trucks, and then everybody on the crews will take in a truck to get empty so they can start harvesting. Hopefully that's all this is. And it's a little bit more scattered and sporadic throughout the day, so we can get some loads in here. We need to haul, I'm gonna guess 16 trucks in here, which me and Brad both trucking. Very, very doable.
Morning. Found you on the doorstep this morning, guys. I think there was a race run last night down through this field. That poor guy there lost. That's what second place gets you, kids. Dad hasn't gotten started yet. I don't know if he's forgot how to operate that thing. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. We might be harvest maybe imminent. So when I say they're waiting in line, that's how I know. Thanks, Pipe Ag.
We're back to green flag racing now. Turning out the bushels. So these passes that they are in are extremely long. They're also finishing opening up this field. I think there was one more pass on the other end. He cannot make it all the way down, I'd almost guarantee it, because it's a pretty long pass. He's probably going to break through the middle at some point here. That way he can unload on both sides of going down and back. Huh. That's cracked. I wonder if Dad did that. So Bubby's got a camera today. See if he's getting us anything. Check some tire pressures real fast. Or maybe just take a leak and then we'll head back to town.
Alright, Dad's out down there in the distance in the Fendt, right along the river. Tree line, cleaning up some windrows that he left last night. Got our scale system up here on the iPad. We've got the Pipe Ag system up here. Oh, it looks like one of the guys are on their way home. And when I say home, I mean back here to the field. Somebody's coming down the highway. That's good. But got that up there. Cell phone mounted. Ag leader is not turned on. We are running the Fendt Ideal 7 today. Demo machine that is not equipped with an ag leader, so we're not connected to anything, so it doesn't really do me any good to turn that on. There's nothing happening on there today. Came this morning armed with coffee, cookies, some water, protein bar, napkins. Messes happen. There's a little bit of water in the river still, thankfully. I don't know about everybody else, but it's pretty dry around here. We're not as bad off as some folks, but it's definitely dry. I think that gravel bar over there is usually underwater.
There, no line this trip at all. So I guess that was the morning rush. Now it'll get busy in here again at some point, but a lot of these guys aren't near as close as we are, so hopefully we can get several loads in here before they get busy again. We can hold 20 acres worth of corn on the semis and grain carts, so we need to get roughly 60 acres of corn hauled in here before they get busy again.
The header that they've sent down to run with the Fendt is a chopper head. And basically, for you guys that don't farm, it would be like we're removing the crop and then hitting it with a lawnmower. You see how it's been cut off? It's basically got a settled blaze underneath the corn head that does that. And I'm sure for you guys that do farm and have experience with those heads, you get a lot of feelings one way or another about the job they do and if they're really worth it. I don't know, we don't use them. We have devastators, we have stock stompers, but we don't use a chopping head. I kind of feel like maybe in some conditions they would be great. Like this year, these stalks are pretty dead, they're pretty dry, and if you step on them or hit them with a tire, they basically just shatter. A couple years ago, we tried a demo head that had choppers on it, and the corn was still healthy enough when it came time to combine. But I kind of thought that the stalk residue was basically like little spikes. You know, if you got out and stepped on one, you knew you stepped on something. Didn't give all that well. So I don't know. Some years they probably help tires. Some years maybe they do more harm than good. I don't know.
All right, we got a seed salesman brought us some lunch. We are doing some channel corn here. I texted him this morning, said, hey man, we're doing your corn if you want to ride along. So he's going to hop in there with Dad, I believe. But he also brought lunch, so trying to stay on the good side, I guess. Pretty easy to keep up with him, Clint, whenever you bring food and he stops.
Get him stopping. So right over here, we've got some fairly tall corn. And then right over here, that's some really tall corn. No, I'm just kidding, that's a ridge line. It's a gravel bank that runs right down through there.
Next load, still no one here. Hallelujah. So Dad decided that he wanted to come get the Gleaner, so I am pulling over here to the Gleaner. When it broke down, it still had half a tank of corn in it. That corn, we'll probably just take it to the grain bins real fast. So this truck's empty, pulling down here. He's on his way here to pick up. I don't know if we're gonna do some comparison or what we're gonna do, but he wanted to get the Gleaner, so we're here.
Well, they got the power ladder fixed. Brian was walking over there to inspect it. Yep, he's giving it a look over. Yep, that's a ladder, Brian.
Back in the Gleaner for the first time since the last breakdown. You guys missed that video. We had a belt explode, and when that belt blew up, it took out another belt, a sensor on a clutch, and a couple coolant lines. So a lot of people have asked if this thing's nickel and diming us. This thing's under a warranty for 2 more seasons after this year. So we haven't paid a dime yet, fortunately. But they got this combine up and going yesterday. I want to see how it compares to that Ideal. So Dad said the Ideal was kind of pulling a little hard in this corn. Some of that's going to be the head. I think this Capello head is a lot more superior than the Agco head.
Well, they got the buttons a little different.
Just different enough to mess with. So just at a quick glance, Dad said this combine's using about 3 more gallons, or 3 gallons less per hour. Is that right?
Well, less than that really. Pulling it at 4 miles an hour, it was pulling some, and it was up to 20. I seen the highest of 22 gallons.
And the Gleaner, we're running 4 right now. We're about to plug the head.
Get old Capello head.
Yeah, about to plug. We're running 4 miles an hour, using 70% power, burning 11 gallons an hour. So it's really good on fuel when we're doing corn. And beans, we run you know, a lot higher than that. But I think the lifetime average for this machine is like 13 gallons per hour, 13.5, something like that. Good corn too, 260 bushel. It is dry though, 15%. That's what it is. So for some reason, this head, some of these varieties do this. They just don't feed in this corn head real well. And then some of them are a non-factor.
Hey, look at me. I'm just a dude. Filming a dude. Just filming a dude driving a combine.
So one thing about this, the auger's a lot higher.
I got no boat.
You did get a bug?
Well, I bit one last night. I got in one everywhere I got. Better job. I could get these little cogs out of it.
So this has got a better sample, you think?
Now, but yesterday was good, but this variety, I thought I could get the small chips out of it. It seemed like.
Now, one thing I have seen people saying about the Ideals, especially the 7, I mean, they are pretty known for having a good sample. We don't make any claim to be experts on adjusting those combines, but
Who don't?
huh?
Who don't?
You're an expert on Ideal combines?
No idea. Any combine, also.
Any combine, okay. But Dad did, he just said that this one's not, seems like it's not pulling as hard, which is weird because the Ideal has 25 more horsepower or 20 more horsepower, something like that. But like he said, this is a lighter combine, less moving parts. So apparently it's just more efficient with the power, maybe? I completely forgot this was a chopping corn head and it was running, so that was pulling power. I mean, we're unloading on the go at 250 bushel corn at 4.5 miles an hour right now. Pulling in 3,500 bushels an hour. Corn head doesn't like it. This corn's not quite standing as good as the other stuff we've been in. It's yielding as good, but maybe just not standing as good. The tops are just a little bit rattier looking. It's a tall corn. I mean, you can see it. It's as tall as the combine. I mean, it's probably 12 foot tall, but it's not standing real well. So from inside the cab, he definitely prefers this combine over the Ideal. Like I said, it was really noisy in that cab for some reason yesterday. I thought Dad echoed the same thing. I've ran an Ideal 8, just as quiet as this. I don't know what's different on that 7 that makes it noisier. Other things, the controls on this combine are simpler in my opinion. Like you got this button to swing your auger out. On that Ideal, it was a roller. You have a button here to engage it. On the Ideal, you push the roller. I don't know, just little things like that.
The roller is supposed to be able where you can put it out so far to stop.
Yeah. But now we're going to get out and walk behind the machine on a pass right beside where the Ideal ran. So that Ideal was performing phenomenally as far as loss. There was no loss. So see how the Gleaner stacks up there. Let's go over here. This is a pass that Ideal ran. Let's go on back here a ways. That way the machine was definitely full when it made this pass, and we can't blame anything on that. Let's go right here. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 kernels of corn right there, and that's in a it's probably a 2 foot square, or a 30 by 30 square. Let's go over here where the Gleaner was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we stopped the combine and didn't run over the place. We're gonna see what we're losing on the head. I'm afraid we're losing a lot on the head. So the combine has not ran over this part of this field. That keeps happening to our head. I feel like that is definitely causing header loss right there in the center. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 3 bushel off the head. Now over here on this row, there's only 1 kernel. Towards the middle, I'm blaming on that plugging. But over here towards the middle, there's like 6 or 7.
That ain't bad there.
Maybe a bushel, maybe. So we have quite a bit more header loss with this head, but it also seems like we have more machine loss too. So we're gonna make a couple different setting changes. Now we did order a different concave for this combine. Isn't here yet. We ordered some Precision Farm Parts concave for a Gleaner S3, so if you're running a set of those, let us know what your feedback is. They had a money back guarantee, so I guess if they don't make any difference, we'll send them back. Right now our corn head is just not cooperating. We've opened the opened the plates, closed them, tried to run them as close as we can, but daggone corn head just ain't feeding.
Up in the grain cart with Bubby. We gotta ride back to a truck. Cause we got to go.
So did you miss the cart ace when we were running the Ideal?
No, I missed that T-Rex auger that doesn't reach anything. That's what I missed. Because it's actually, on these hills, it's a little more forgiving than turret.
So people give that Gleaner auger crap, but it works better than the Ideal auger.
I mean, we did put our T-Rex on the stretcher.
Yeah, you have a bent bow.
Really? I wondered.
He got into you.
I mean, I couldn't see anything.
Well, I noticed
When you guys load the back, you can't see anything.
I noticed the spouts cracked on the Ideal, like the plastic.
Yeah, I got into him there.
Ow. So Jason, disregard that.
The spout's fun.
So BJ was sharing a story about last night.
So I've often told my wife, please don't bring me supper in the field when we're running corn, because in the grain cart, especially if Dad and Brian are both running, it's nearly impossible to eat. You just sit there and it drives you crazy because you can smell it, you can't eat. So last night I was like, yeah, you know what, we're kind of winding down, we're not really running all that hard. Go ahead and bring me a sandwich. So I go in and dump. She drops a sandwich off to me, and Dad's clear back in the opposite end of the field, opening it up, so I have to, you know, hammer down deadhead back to where he's at. So I'm wolfing down this sandwich while I'm bouncing around on this corn rows, and I literally inhaled part of it.
Slow down there, look up.
I literally inhaled part of the sandwich. Like, thought I was going to have to do the Heimlich on the steering wheel. Started hacking, couldn't get my breath. Coughed, and a part of the bun like came back out. And I haven't felt right since.
So BJ almost killed himself eating a Wendy's sandwich.
The things I do to drive the grain cart.
All right, we're done playing in the field. Back to the truck. The Gleaner is definitely having a little bit more loss than the Ideal over here. Not a lot. We're losing more on the head than anything, but we're definitely losing probably a bushel out of the back of the Gleaner and basically 0 out of that Ideal. So there's the difference. Some of it could be variety specific. With the Gleaner, it seems like when we get into fluffy corn, bring in a lot of fodder like this is, we start hairpinning our rotor, which is why we bought those other concaves. Now, a lot of people have asked about the 360 gathering chain brush things that you can add to a corn head. That'd be something we'd be interested in trying at some point, but we're not going to do that right now. We don't have them. Probably couldn't get them if we wanted them right now, so just going to get through this year. We're ticking away at this field. Brad and I each need to get at least one more load in. It would be great if we could get 3 more loads in before cargo closes at 6 o'clock. It closes at 7 again. If we can get 3 loads in for sure, we'd be able to hold the rest of this. There's probably 25 acres here. This corn is going to be 250-ish for the field average. 250 bushels per acre on 95. This is a 98 acre field. That's right, 98 acres. So if you do the math, that's a lot of bushels. We should be able to get this out of here tonight, I hope. If not, maybe a load tomorrow. But like I said earlier, with the variety of corn this is, it's yielding really well. It's just not standing really well. That, and it's hard to shell. Some hybrids, for whatever reason, and it's not just with the Gleaner or this Ideal, our Kloss also, we notice it. Some hybrids just seem like they bring in a lot of fodder, uses up a lot of engine power. You can't run as fast. So I think Dad's happened to run like, he's trying to run 4 mile an hour. I don't know if he's running that right now. Looks like he's going kind of slow. The head keeps plugging up though. Overall, the combine's doing a good job. Like I said, I think the Ideal might have it on loss. Dad's been tinkering with it. Maybe he's got it a little bit more dialed in. But the head, that AGCO head is not my favorite, but it runs slower, which is producing less header loss. We've got our head going as slow as we can get it. By our head, I mean our Capello head, so there's just a lot more shatter on it right now. I definitely like our devastated stalks better than the chopped corn head stalks. These little boogers are sharp. If I go down here and duck hunt, I'm gonna put a hole through a layout blind. These little things. The Devastator, on the other hand, they're kinked over, they're floppy. I think we were running over them, not really tearing up tires. These will definitely tear up tires. But there's just a bunch of confetti down here from the chopper. I mean, it chops up the fodder pretty good. Those of you who don't know what I mean when I say a chopping corn head, there's little lawnmower blades under that corn head spinning real fast, and that's why these stalks here are cut so clean. It's just chopping them off, and that's why we have stuff like this. Just it's chopping up the fodder. Helps it decompose. Also makes a mat of fodder. Not a huge deal. We're gonna hit these with a vertical tillage tool at some point anyways. Versus this being, the stuff came through the Gleaner. We are pushing the stalks over and basically busting them at the bottom, but leaving the stalk longer. The leaf material is longer. Everything's just bigger material.
full truck. 2 more full trucks. And not quite half full, but it will be when he dumps. And you know what? For river bottom ground with gravel and sand, it's going to finish out about 240. We'll take it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. The last few clips, for some reason the files were corrupted, but Dax, he shot his first deer at the end of this video. So I end up leaving right at dark to help him and my cousin. My cousin Ben took him hunting. Thanks Ben for taking Dax and helping him get his first deer. Shot with a crossbow. It's a 4-point. He's very, very excited, and I was super proud of him. So had to cut out a little bit early. It's not in the video. I did have a clip of it, but it was corrupted. So here's a picture. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.